Welcome. I would like to give you an introduction to Crowfall, explaining some basics, how to get started, what to do, and yeah, this is an original version from my German guide, so I'm gonna just do a talk over. So if you're missing the sound for my next videos, you're also gonna have the game sound and me talking. So first we're gonna create a character, which I already did. This is self-explanatory, and we're gonna play a campaign. The first thing you want to do when you enter the game is you want to go to the profession screens and select the professions that you want to skill in. You can choose between combat, crafting, and exploration, and then you just click on the items in the tree. Just hit the green select button, and then it's going to train the points. I'm gonna start, well, I would start, well, you always have to start with the left one. And then once you selected that one, you got 3 skill points every 10 seconds. Those max out at a very high amount. So you can also, when you're busy, because you have a life and friends, those points are gonna keep popping up and you can spend them afterwards. So it's a very cool solution, I think, from the Crowfall team. You can then spend them and get pips, and these increase your values. So this is pretty self-explanatory. And then you create a character. On the left are the races, on the right are the classes. Only certain classes are available to certain races. We already know this concept from many other games. And I'm just gonna create a confessor, do a little designing, make it look nice and everything. And then we're gonna jump pretty quickly into the game. All right, character created. I play in EU because I located in the EU, gives me a little better ping. There is more going on the NA server, so just choose what you like. Also, I want to make a little of advertisement for my guild, Horizon. I have a link in my YouTube subscription, so if you're looking for a balance guild on EU, write me. We are currently recruiting. The link will display everything. So you can just walk around and harvest those mushrooms and stuff. It's always good to do this when you want to cook. This is the inventory. You open that by pressing I. Um, that is the chicken meter, as we call it. This shows how hungry you are. When this goes below, like when 4 chickens are missing, you stop generating life. That's the most important. You don't want to get too hungry. Chop down some trees to get apples, or loot those boxes to get raw meat. Go to the campfire, cook the meat, and then you can eat that stuff and can be back to happiness again. If you want to chop down trees, you can get the access from those chests. I'm just going to show that you put it down in the survival tray, and then you go to the tree and start chopping, and you pick up the resources that fall out of it. In case you don't have an axe for whatever reason, if you start in your EK, the Eternal King, you can just go to a tree and harvest it by hand. So this gives you 3 knotwood, and when you press J and open the crafting menu, you can craft an axe. I'm gonna show this in a second. So here, that's that. Here on the right, we have our gathered knotwood. Then left, we go to basic crafting, basic harvesting tools, select the basic axe or hammer if we want to farm stone, or knife if we want to skin animals and get meat, or basic harvesting pick if we want to get that. Yeah, you can insert it by right click, but then the left crafting window needs to have this yellow frame. Otherwise, it's not focused, and the game thinks you want to equip the wood, which obviously doesn't work. So now you see I take the pickaxe, hit it, hit the wood. There are those white dots. Those are weak spots. If you hit them, you do more damage to the node. So here you see 100, 100, 100 again. Now we go to something different and hit the slag again. Now we don't. The ultimate. If you have a certain amount of pips, you can activate the ultimate with, for me, it's the middle mouse button. The default value is Q, I think. And then you do with 5 pips more damage. 1 pip gives you an 8% harvesting damage buff. 2 pips give you quick stamina. That's the yellow bar, which is going to be consumed when you harvest. And 4 pips increases your mana, your stamina regeneration. Don't look at this like what I would do is use it when you have 5 pips. When you're getting to harvesting, try to hit the weak spots. That's important, and play around a bit with your stamina management. About the chests, what you did just see, it's not your personal chests in the beginning. Like that other player just put stuff in there, and I can go to the chest and loot it. So this is a bit misleading. When you are at the balance temple and at some forts and there is a big chest in the middle, that's a personal chest. That's where you can put stuff in, but you will figure that out, I guess, if you heard it once, this should be clear. Hello, Nick. Well, all right, so this is the first vendor. Here is another campfire where we can cook some food. So let me show you how you can cook raw meat. So yeah, you don't see too much of the overlay, but you can read. I have no doubt that you're gonna figure it out. You just select the basic roasted meats, and then you put the meat in, click assemble. This is then very basic. I did this, and now we can interact with the vendor. The vendor is going to sell you a basic crappy weapon that you can use to kill the spiders to our left. So you buy the item, you equip it, and then you can start killing. So then you press U. This gets you into combat stance. You have to switch between both stances. At the moment, we only have the left click, so we go to the spider and kill it. The red indicator shows you on a range class that you targeted an enemy that is attackable. If you're too far away, you don't do damage, so get closer so that you are in range, and then the fun stuff keeps happening. Press F to loot, then you take the stuff out, and you could also skin them. That's what I'm explaining here, because you could craft mounts, but they patched those out of the game literally yesterday, so no need to bother for the mount. Yeah, let me tell you something about the seasons. So in spring, there we have very plentiful harvest. In summer, it's a bit less. In fall, it's kind of bad, and winter is just annoying. So at the moment, it's winter, and when you hover over the resources or some animals that you can loot, you're gonna see an indicator with plentiful harvest. The more pips you have there, the better. At the moment, when I'm skinning, you see I don't even have plentiful harvest, so you don't want to harvest in winter. But also there, I'm gonna do a harvesting guide sooner or later, then you're gonna see all the details. Okay, so at those chests in the beginning area, I would always recommend to run a bit between the chests and take like a stack of 20 bandages and 20 meat and cook the meat. This is going to get you through the first hours of the game. Um, that's just great. You can also craft the bandages with basic knotwood. Those hunger shards are harvestable. They drop Now the hunger crystal drops hunger shards, which can be used as weapon additives. So when you go to weapon crafter and you want a weapon, collect them, and the resources are frozen by the hunger shards. So when I go to the tree and I hit it, it doesn't, no damage numbers pop up. That's because you first need to harvest the hunger shards to unlock the other resources. So whenever anything is in the snow, you know, okay, I have to kill the hunger shard first, the hunger crystal first in order to gather it. Also about the mobs. You can see the spider looks a bit different than it looked before. That's because it's close to a hunger crystal. And that's the whole winter is coming theme from Crowfall. Basically, the monsters do more damage, they have more health, and they're just in general more annoying and harder to kill. Also, when you get the snow animation, your food consumption is going to go up. They patched this out of the beachhead, which is the beginning area that we're running through at the moment. So you're not going to have it there, but when you go towards them in the open world, you're gonna see that your hunger increases drastically. Okay, over there, this is a shrine. There you can sacrifice stuff to level up. So just run there real quick, and now you open it up. What's very important, you can sacrifice, but the experience doesn't go above levels. So if you would throw in like a lot of stuff that could theoretically get you to level 10, you only get one level and all the other stuff is wasted. So be careful to do that one level at a time. Split the stacks, only put in as much as you need to end the level, and then go back, go to the shrine again, and then do the next level. So that's that. To split stacks, it's shift right click. Yeah, this is also where you see with the pluses, you can put points in the attributes like intellect, strength. Um, just look at the numbers. Also, I can do a class guide and show you which class needs which attributes, but this is pretty straightforward in Crowfall. Don't go for Constitution, don't go for Spirit, depending what your primary attribute is. Put all the points in this attribute and you basically have the best. That's the meta for how to level classes. It's just the most efficient at the moment. And where I'm at the moment, that was the talent tree. There you can figure out your talents. This is also quite self-explanatory. So you get skills. The skills you just pull down to your ranged tray or combat tray. And what you see here is the racial abilities, or the powers that are granted, and the statistics or the other value that it gives. So the high elf is more intellect, it's better at jewel crafting, better at leatherworking, and you get some racial abilities like this one. This is different for all the classes. If you want an in-depth class and race guide, let me know, then I'm going to do one for you. But this is probably going to change a lot, so I'm not sure how useful it is yet. But when we're at a point where I say like, hey, now it's got kind of finished, it feels balanced, then I'm going to explain you some stuff. Yeah. So also about the survival tray and the range tray, whenever you are in the combat stance, all your gear is gonna lose durability even if you're just standing around AFK. So now I have 476 durability, but I'm still in the fighting stance. That can you see because the book is still out. So when the weapon is not uh, put on hold, I'm sorry. Well, basically when you're in combat stance, you lose durability. So you see, it was just not even half a minute, and I lost 4 durability just AFKing around in fighting stance. So whenever you do anything apart from fighting, go to the survival tray, and your gear won't use durability. Also, gear cannot be repaired. If it's broken, you need to go to someone and he has to craft it again, or have to craft you a new one. Show you how you can start leveling now a bit. When you enter the temple, I always leveled at the picks down there to get the leather, which we don't need anymore. Like if you are a leather class and you need to wear leather armor, the picks are a good way to get white resources. If you need ore or wood or whatever crafting you do, if you walk outside of the temple, you can see, for example, to the right up here, and there are some other openings. This can also be seen when you open the map with M. You can just walk out and you're gonna find rank 1 white resources there. So the gray stuff, the knotwood and the basic stones and that stuff, you can't craft advanced armor with that, but with the white leather that drops from rank 1 resources, like a boar and like, do you see that when resources are glowing, then they can be used to craft the nice shit. So if you need leather, farm the pigs. If you need iron or other iron basically, or basic wood or stones, just go out in the temple and farm stuff there, because you can't be ganked in this area. Once you go to the adventure areas and stuff, it might happen that you farm and you get ganked and killed. So you can either gather materials and craft rune tools or something to level, or you go out and kill mobs and you can sacrifice the gold. But until now, the most efficient way to level that I found without killing mobs is gathering ore and wood and crafting rune tools. So also, if you need to craft something, you have to equip disciplines, but you first have to unlock them in the talent tree. So you see up there is the minor discipline you can unlock, and down below is the major discipline. You get them at level 5. And this was basically it. Like, I'm very glad you were listening, and this showed you the basics. And if you want some other guides, let me know. Leave me a comment. If you like what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure to check out my Twitch channel. I'm streaming almost every day at 9 p.m. Central European time. I'm going to show you some PvP, because that's when the siege area, like the siege time frame is of 1 hour, where the big keeps can be attacked, and you're going to see some action with catapults and ballistas and massive zergs running into each other and trying to kill each other, and some PvP. Also check out the little PvP video if you're interested in, hey, what does the combat gameplay looks like? And if you have questions, ask questions. Please follow me on Twitch. I'm currently building up the stream. And once I reach 50 follower and get accepted to the affiliate program, you're gonna have the chance to subscribe. I'm going to announce this event through, hopefully Crowfall is going to announce it on their social channels as well. And I will give away at least one free version of Crowfall, and for every 10 subscribers, I'm gonna add another version of Crowfall on top, and then I'm gonna give them away through a lottery-like thing. So if you like that, hit me up, follow me on Twitch. That's even more important than following me on YouTube. And if you like the game, come to my channel, ask questions. I'm always happy to answer all of your questions. Sometimes there is also somebody from the Crowfall community hanging around, so they can answer the questions I can't answer yet, but I think this is all a very good thing. So thanks for watching, thank you for your attention, and see you soon at Crowfall.